What's good, y'all? Welcome back. Welcome back to another F1 video for today, man. Big race tomorrow. Very, very happy with the race tomorrow. We have Monaco. Very, very much am looking forward to it. Should be a good race. Should be an absolutely good race. Hopefully. We do know about how Monaco is at times. It can be boring. It can be a tad bit stall. But with the prediction of rain tomorrow, which I actually haven't checked if it still is supposed to rain tomorrow. Hopefully it does. But shout out to Max Verstappen for getting pole position, just outbeating Fernando Alonso for pole. And we should see, man. This is Checo Perez had a penalty, so I think he's starting in last P20. But we are just gonna see, man. But we are here today. You are here today for top 10 closest F1 title finishes, man. Finishes. Looking forward to it. Very much am looking forward to it. As always, don't get started the video. Sub as well if you are new to the channel. Hopefully you guys are having a very good Saturday. Stupendous, lovely, outstanding, and terrific Saturday. And yes, tomorrow we should be live for the race. So if you guys do, as always, when they're watching along, join the chat, join the race. We should be live for the race tomorrow. Very, very good vibes as always. A lot of you guys have been joining the live streams for the race. So barring the little internet, connection issues, still a good vibe. So yeah, if you want to, go ahead, hang out with us for the Monaco watching along. Hang out, join the chat. Smooth vibe as always. That's it. That's it. On that note, let's start.
Throughout Formula One's history, there have been a multitude of closely fought title fights that have put us on the edge of our seats. Sometimes the very smallest of margins ultimately deciding in which way the championship was won. But here are the 10 closest title finishes in Formula One history to date, with any championships that were decided by the same points being ordered by the total number of races in which points could be scored that season. And because of the reduced number of races in earlier years, only championships that feature at least 10 races counting towards the final totals have been included.
Number 10.
The heavyweights of the time, Alain Prost, Nigel Mansell, Nelson Piquet and Ayrton Senna, all fought over the 1986 driver's title, with each driver taking a turn to lead the championship. Piquet had won the opening race, but reigning champion Prost took back-to-back wins and moved to the front of the standings. Then it was Mansell who moved up a gear, winning 4 of the next 5 races and taking a slender lead following a home victory. Only once all season had the lead of the championship got as high as 10 points. And at the title-deciding race in Adelaide, Mansell, Prost and Piquet had a chance of winning it.
Now go try to push Mansell out and try to win the race.
What followed was a thrilling conclusion, which first saw Piquet spin.
Head off speed Piquet! Wow-wee!
No way. Now my boy Nelson Piquet going out like... Well, actually, I can't say my boy. Because you guys know me, I've had I have had some reservation about Nelson Piquet. But God, for the last race of the season, to potentially spin out, oh brother.
Prost lose a chunk of time with a slow pit stop.
Oh, Alan.
With just 20 laps to go, as Mansell looked set for the title, disaster struck.
Hey, look at that! And colossally, that's Mansell!
A left rear tyre blowout had ended the Brits' chances, with the Williams team fearing the same would happen to Piquet and opting to pit the Brazilian from the lead. This saw Prost move to the front, where the McLaren driver would finish and win a second consecutive title. This time, only 2 points clear of a dejected Mansell.
So I'm very sorry for Nigel because I know how it is to lose the championship as the last race, and I'm very, very sorry for him. It must be very hard.
God, I hate it for Nigel because of that. Imagine you have a chance to potentially, win the race, and your freaking tire blows out. It's like going on a date with your partner. You get ready to close the deal. You're about to make it official. You're at dinner, and then you find out you forgot your wallet. Damn. Dang.
Nelson Piquet had strong competition from a French duo in 1983,
83.
with both Alain Prost and Rene Arnoux giving the Brazilian a real fight for the
That's
title.
his name? Rene
Despite
Arnoux?
starting the season with a win at his
Cool
home
name.
event, Piquet soon fell behind Prost, who won 4 races during a time in which the Brazilian could
Dang,
manage
Nigel.
only
That's
second-place
unfortunate.
finishes at best. This streak gave the Renault driver the most likely chance of winning the title, holding a 14-point lead with 4 races to go. But 2 consecutive retirements at the most crucial stage of the season allowed Arnoux and Piquet to close in. And following the penultimate round, only 8 points separated the trio. Prost had led for large parts of the season, but suffered yet another race retirement at the final round in South Africa. And with Arnoux also dropping out, it left Piquet just needing a 4th-place finish, which the Brabham driver duly delivered, winning his 2nd World Championship.
God dang, get off the freaking track. I mean, listen, I understand, you know, you're happy, excited, stuff like that. And, like, we know now when drivers doing races, you know, like the pit crew and all that, and, you know, they're on the freaking cage, you know, cheering, stuff like that. But, my God, like, you know, like, I know the excitement's going crazy, but, and I know there isn't no, like, you know, fence, cage, whatever, stuff like that. My God, man, you know, let's, you know, can we at least move back a few feet? You know what I mean? Can we move back a few feet?
And only 2 points clear of the unfortunate Prost.
And that's what Alain Prost did say. That's
3
like
drivers
he knows how it
from
feels
3
to
different
lose
teams
on
would
the
fight
last
for the
day.
2003 championship, with Williams' Juan Pablo Montoya, Ferrari's Michael Schumacher, and McLaren's Kimi Raikkonen, all in race-winning machinery. The young Raikkonen had his breakthrough season, claiming a first race victory at the Malaysian Grand Prix,
My boy
along
Kimi.
with a string of consistent podium finishes that kept him in the hunt throughout. But while the recently dominant Ferraris had found themselves involved in a number of incidents early on,
God
their leading
dang.
man quickly found his feet and began to return to winning ways, while a haul of strong results mid-season gave Montoya a real chance too.
He
Yeah, the
was
two
good in
guys
F1
respect very
though.
much of what I'm doing, and I do the same for them. But when we go for it, we go for it.
That's
But
right.
each time the
That's
championship
right.
looked to be going in favour of one driver, misfortune would intervene. Raikkonen retiring from a comfortable lead in Europe, Schumacher's tyre delaminating at his home Grand Prix, and Montoya's engine giving way while the Colombian was running at the front in Austria. And 3 became 2 at the penultimate round, which saw both Raikkonen and Schumacher excel in changeable conditions as Montoya dropped out of contention. Schumacher held a 9-point lead at the final round, which the Finn was unable to overturn in Japan. He took 2nd place, with Schumacher finishing 8th. 2 points the difference in the end,
That's
and title
crazy.
number 6 for the legendary German.
How many people wrote us off? How many people wrote things about us, outspoken things? And here we are. We're back, and we never give up.
Hey, in the words of my boy Geno Smith, I low-key forgot the wordage. I low-key forgot the wordage, but somebody forget it.
1999 promised to be the second installment of a famous Mika Hakkinen versus Michael Schumacher rivalry.
My boy,
a
98 and
contest that had gone
99.
down to the
Yeah.
wire the previous year. But with Schumacher suffering
Eddie
an
Irvine.
horrific accident at the British Grand Prix, he was ruled out for 6 races with a broken leg and
Hey.
out of the title fight. Instead, it was left to his Ferrari teammate Eddie Irvine to stop the Finn, which appeared at the time to be an almost impossible task. The Northern Irishman stepped up, however, taking a brace of race victories mid-season and making the most of a rough patch for Hakkinen, who crashed out of both the German and Italian Grand Prix, huge moments that would allow his rivals to close the gap.
Hakkinen, the race leader. He's out of the race. He's out of the race. And this could blow the World Championship wide open.
His McLaren teammate David Coulthard, along with Jordan's Heinz Harold Frentzen, both entered the fight, although ultimately dropped out of the running with a race to go, as Irvine won in Malaysia, thanks to a little help from his returning teammate. There was controversy to come, though, as both Ferraris were disqualified and then reinstated from the Sepang results, ultimately setting up a title showdown in Japan.
It's going to be an interesting race, that's for sure.
Wait. So the Ferrari team was disqualified, but they got re-entered, if I heard that correct. What was the issue? Was it because I seen them have like a piece of an object, but it was like scraping it. Was it? Don't tell me they were cheating. Don't tell me they were
So the winner
cheating.
would take it all, as Irvine's slim 4-point lead would not be enough should the McLaren win his first race in 5. The Finn did just that, cruising to a comfortable victory to secure back-to-back titles, with Irvine only 3rd in what would be his final race for Ferrari.
My boy Mika.
One of the sport's most well-known title battles is
1
James
point.
Hunt and Niki Lauda's Hollywood movie-inspiring 1976 season. Lauda started the season strong for Ferrari, almost ending any hopes of a title fight at all as he opened a 38-point lead.
I still have to watch that movie though. Sorry to keep pausing, but do you have to watch that?
Over Hunt halfway through the season, in an era where you were awarded only 9 points for a race win.
Oh my god.
However, at that season's German Grand Prix, a horrible crash for Lauda would change the course of the championship, with the Austrian left on his deathbed after suffering severe burns and smoke inhalation. Despite the nature of his injuries, Lauda would miss just 2 rounds, while Hunt put in an incredible run of results, winning 4 more races and taking the fight down to the wire at a rain-soaked Japanese Grand Prix at Fuji.
I'm not looking forward to the hard battle that we're going to have because it's going to be really tough.
Lauda found the treacherous conditions too much, pulling into the pits and retiring from the race, the Austrian's horror incident at the Nordschleife still playing on his mind.
Okay.
Hunt needed
I'm not mad about
finish,
that.
a feat
I'm not
that
mad
looked
about that.
impossible as he
I'm
dropped
not
to
mad
5th
about that.
late on, following a
Completely
puncture.
understand.
But the Briton would remarkably claw
You guys
back
gonna be
2
mid-help
places
over
in the
anything
closing
else?
stages, and in securing 3rd place, won the Drivers' Championship by just a single point, ahead of his great friend and rival.
My boy James Hunt. Is that cigarette? Anybody's fingers?
1 point was the difference between Nelson Piquet and Carlos Reutemann in 1981. Although even more remarkably, the top
PK has, I think he has 2 ships, right? I think PK has 2 ships. Trying to remember, but I think he has 2. I could be wrong though.
5 would be covered by just 7 points following the
think he
final
is too.
race at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas. Both Piquet and Reutemann had fought hard over the course of the season, earning the same amount of podium finishes while sharing 5 race victories between them. And with both drivers tied on points following the Dutch Grand Prix, a race in which Reutemann had crashed out while dueling with Jacques Lafitte, it was set up brilliantly for the fight to go down to the final day. Piquet had trailed Reutemann for much of the season, but with the Argentine having an unimpressive final 2 races, Piquet only had to finish 5th to take the title by a single point, with Alan Jones, Jacques Lafitte and Alain Prost all within touching distance of the title following an unpredictable season.
That's
The
what's
end
up.
of a turbulent 1994 season, during which the lives of Ayrton Senna and Roland Ratzenberger were tragically lost, culminated with the title being decided in
Schumacher won.
controversial circumstances.
Schumacher won 94.
Michael Schumacher's dominant run of 6 wins from the opening 7 races saw him streak away in his Benetton. But Williams' Damon Hill was able to fight back in the second half of the season. Schumacher's lead may well have been bigger, but at the British Grand Prix, he ignored a penalty for overtaking Hill twice on the formation lap, a decision which would later give him a 2-race ban,
Now my
allowing
boy
his rival
cheating.
to close in. And after a memorable victory in torrential conditions at the Japanese Grand Prix,
That was disgusting,
Hill
my
entered the
irritation.
season finale in Adelaide just 1 point adrift of Schumacher.
I mean, this track is very difficult, and you got to explore the limits of the envelope, especially when you're driving against 2 great drivers. Yeah, I chose
My
the
boy
extended
Nigel,
road a
man.
number of times,
That's
purely
my
and
boy.
simply that if I
That's
tried to
my
go
boy.
around the corner, I probably might have ended up going.
You know what's crazy? I don't know why I have like such such great appreciation for Nigel Mansell. I don't know why. Probably because he won Formula 1. Didn't follow he won in IndyCar. I don't know why, man. He's just my guy. Like, Nigel is just my guy. I have very, very great appreciation for Nigel Mansell, man. I don't know why though. I couldn't really tell you. He's just my guy. He's just my guy, man.
Well, it's a bit quicker. You should try it tomorrow.
Hill started slowly in Australia, but began to reel Schumacher in. And as the pressure grew on the German driver, he went wide and hit the wall. Hill saw his chance, diving up the inside, but Schumacher turned in, and the resulting damage saw both drivers retire, meaning Schumacher was champion for the first time.
That's crazy. Awkward retirement like
But
that.
I think I gave him a good run for his money, and he certainly was feeling the pressure because he ended up falling off the road.
That's how you win a championship like that? That's crazy. That's crazy. That's how you win a championship like that. I mean, please correct me if I'm wrong. Please, you guys, I'll say you guys, please correct me if I'm wrong. Ain't that kind of similar to the Senna-Prost incident at Suzuki?
Having been robbed of a first
You know,
title
an
by
incident
reliability in
between two cars
2003
kind
and
of
2005,
determines who
Kimi
wins.
Raikkonen had
The
moved
two
from
top
McLaren
contenders.
to Ferrari for 2007, replacing the departing Michael Schumacher. Fernando Alonso had moved teams to McLaren following back-to-back world championships and was joined by rookie Lewis Hamilton, hotly tipped to give his teammate a tougher job than he may have expected. Despite winning the opening round, Raikkonen struggled early on as the McLaren pairing won a handful of races to open up a lead in both championships. And it was Hamilton's superb consistency that saw the rookie remarkably lead by 12 points at the halfway point in the season.
We let you know
It
about
appeared to be
this.
McLaren's title to lose, but their reluctance or perhaps inability to prioritise one driver over the other left the door ajar for Raikkonen to close in. As Hamilton and Alonso took points off one another, 9 podiums from the final 10 races for the resurgent Raikkonen, including victories in each of the final 2 events, saw the Finn finally become champion, pipping both Hamilton and Alonso by just a single point. It was the tightest ever margin between the top 3 drivers in a championship to date.
My boy Kimi. My
It
boy
was not only
Kimi.
one of the narrowest title wins in F1 history, but the most
yeah.
dramatic and famous of them all.
This is when, oh wait, I think this when like, I mean, you guys remember cause shit, chat, shut up. This is when I think I made a video about like Felipe Massa talking about, you know, like to revisit, I think this year. Yeah, that was it. I'm sorry. My bad.
Lewis Hamilton and Felipe Massa had fought over the 2008 championship, with both Kimi Raikkonen and Robert Kubica also taking turns to lead the standings. But the leading pair would ultimately be too strong for the rest, each driver putting in magnificent performances throughout the season. Massa excelling in Turkey and Europe, while Hamilton reigned supreme in treacherous conditions at his home Grand Prix to finish almost 70 seconds clear of the field. Controversy played its part too. Hamilton stripped of a race victory in Belgium for an illegal overtake on Massa's teammate Raikkonen, while Massa himself saw a comfortable win stolen from him in Singapore following a deliberate crash by Nelson Piquet Jr. and his Renault team.
We know
The
about
rivals
that.
even
Cheating
came together
ass.
in Fuji as a respectful relationship came under intense pressure. It all led to a heart-stopping title decider in Brazil, with the then 23-year-old Lewis Hamilton becoming F1's youngest ever world champion, with a last-gasp overtake on the final lap of the final race of the season. It was so close that when Felipe Massa crossed the line, both he and his team thought they had done enough to be crowned champions. But Massa, who had won more races than Hamilton in 2008, missed out by a single point.
That's crazy.
That last lap pass on Timo Glock, enough to secure him the
That's
ultimate prize in
crazy.
motorsport. Had he
That's
not made
crazy.
it, he would have lost out to the Brazilian on countback.
We missed 1 point, and but that's racing. I mean, we need to be proud. We need to be proud about our job.
Number 1.
McLaren teammates Niki Lauda and Alain Prost couldn't be separated at
0.5.
the end of 1984, resulting in the closest championship finish between 2 drivers in the history of the sport. Having only just missed out to Piquet the previous year, Prost had moved to McLaren and looked to have faster outright speed than his new partner, a position that left Lauda making a conscious decision to concentrate on race setup, knowing his teammate clearly had the edge in qualifying. Prost would win 7 races to Lauda's 5, including victory at a rain-soaked Monaco, where only half points were awarded due to less than 75% of the race.
Hey, if Monaco was like this tomorrow, oh my, oh boy, oh my.
Being completed. But Lauda's cool consistency only
Hopefully
once
it is
finishing
no like red
outside
flag
of the
though. I
top
really
two
don't want a
all
red
year
flag.
when reaching the checkered flag gave him the edge.
I absolutely want to win the championship, and even if I do not win it, I want to go to Estoril with a chance.
The McLaren team had been the class of the field on race days, but with only 3 pole positions, and all of them for Prost, Lauda's decision to focus on race pace rewarded him with a 3rd and final title, fending off the young Frenchman by the smallest of margins.
That's crazy.
Following in
0.5 is
Prost's wheel tracks
crazy, Niki
over the
Lauda.
line at the final round
That's
in Portugal
crazy, bro.
to secure a 2nd place finish and the title by just half a point.
He was the toughest guy to beat, as far as I know. The toughest guy, so therefore this championship is the most important one for me.
That's crazy. We've seen a lot. We've seen a lot of close. Like a lot of the championships we saw, I kind of forgot how close they were. Obviously, you know, the one with Niki Lauda and Alan Prost with 0.5 is crazy. The one with Schumacher and Damon Hill, Kimi Räikkönen having, you know, 2 instances in which it was close as hell. I mean, win 1. I mean, Alan Prost early on again. I mean, my God. My God. My boy Eddie Irvine trying to steal from my boy Mickey Hakkinen. I ain't going for that. Very, very, very great video. Hope you guys did enjoy it. Don't forget to like the video, sub as well as always. Take care, stay amazing. As always, I will see you guys tomorrow for the race. Make sure you guys do join that. Peace.